Passionate about music.
So the album is called Trespassing.
Yeah.
How does it compare to your first album? Because the first album was amazing.
Well, thank you. It's quite different than the first album. I personally feel like I'm really proud of the first album. I think we had some great music on there, and I took some chances with some of the visuals, and it was brash and over the top, with that one song, "What Do You Want From Me," being kind of the exception to that rule. And I think it was kind of me saying, like, taking a guess at what kind of artist I wanted to be, in many cases, and we did it in about a month and a half while I was on a stadium tour. So it was a very quick process, and there was no time to really think about it. It was just, okay, go record this song, and do you like it or not? Okay, go. You know.
It was like a rock opera, wasn't it? Because it was a real mishmash of styles, but it was very you. I mean, because you can mix with the rock and you mix with alternative.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a good way
well.
to the opera part is a good way to put it, because in a way it was so theatrical, like in its intention and kind of its presentation. And like it was called for your entertainment, so it was very much, me guessing what will people want to hear, especially coming off of a show like Idol where I sang everybody else's music.
Yeah.
So this album, Trespassing, is something that I've worked on after having toured for 6 months, having promoted the first album, having kind of learned about myself in the process, about the artist that I've become and want to be, and also about who my fans are and what makes them tick a little bit, and kind of seeing them in the front rows of the shows gives you a better idea of which songs are resonating with them, what are they looking for, and so I'm much more like educated. The album is going to be divided in half. There's going to be a part 1 and a part 2 on the same album, and the part 1 is all that light side. It's all the celebration, it's being confident and marching to my own beat of my own drum and parties and love, and then the second half of the album is the flip side to all of that.
I love it.
Yeah, it's the depression, it's the anxiety of life. It is the moments where we're self-sabotaging ourselves, where we are doubtful, where we're sad. So
because you got to have light and dark, right? You got to have both.
Well, yeah, and that's what the video says, is that you need one to have the other. You need to balance between the two.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. And it's two halves that make a whole. You can't just be one.
Now, Adam, you do a hell of a lot of work for gay rights and the LGBT movement, of course. I always see you tweeting your reactions to stories in the news. You were quoted, I think, as saying that one of the reasons why you love being a famous singer is because you can support people who feel that they are kind of outsiders.
I'm an outsider. I mean, not only, with my orientation, but also, in the music industry, I'm not necessarily like the typical pop singer. I don't really fit into. I don't feel like I can be compared to anybody, which sometimes is actually really difficult in this industry. But in life, in the industry, in my job, in personal stuff, I've always felt like an outsider. I've always been that like kind of dorky kid in high school that was walking the halls dressed in black that didn't really know anybody.
That makes you more independent, though, right? I mean, especially as a singer, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, you have to kind of turn to yourself to kind of find validation and motivation in life, and I grew up having to do that for myself. So it's definitely made me stronger. But the underside to that is that sometimes there's pain involved with that. Sometimes it's hard. I think one of the best things about being a singer in the public eye is to be able to give people like me a voice, and I'm hoping that I'm able to do that even more with this album. I think it directly deals with some of these issues, both the good and the bad.
And when you were starting out, you said you were very proud that your gayness is just another part of you. That was obviously about 3 years ago, wasn't it? Or just under. Do you feel more empowered now?
I definitely feel more comfortable being more outspoken. But I still hold true to the idea that, like, it doesn't define my entire being. I'm a musician, I'm a singer, and a songwriter, and hopefully what I've accomplished with Trespassing is I've written songs that are very honest to my experience, and they're true and they're autobiographical. Some things are about the types of relationships I want, but most of it is about the human condition. It's about things that we all go through, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the underlying messages on the album too, is that it shouldn't matter if you're different, because we are all, when you boil it down, we're all kind of after the same things, and we're all kind of afraid of the same things.
Are you still flattered that girls try to convert you? Because a lot of gay men, I think, would probably find that quite irritating. I suppose we're all different. But
I think it's funny. I don't find it irritating. I think it's cute.
Yeah. I've got some questions from fans then.
Sure.
Somebody on Twitter, actually, I think it's an American fan as well. Tina, she's asked if you can allow Kermit the Frog permission to use or sing Trespassing. I'm not actually sure if he's done it already.
Kermit? He'd be great at it. That would be fabulous.
Elmo's LMFAO
I mean,
remix.
I think we probably need to put the song out first, one thing at a time, but Kermit, have at it.
One from a High and Rod, I think that's a High and Rod. Is it hard as a gay pop star to write music that appeals to a predominantly straight audience?
Pop music is a predominantly straight audience?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
I think gay men love pop music, and women. I think pop music is for anybody that likes pop music.
Sure.
And that kind of brings us back to what I was saying. Is it's like, yes, I'm proud to identify as a gay man and a gay pop artist, but it's not. I'm an artist.
Yeah. One from Patty as well. Are you going to be learning new funk dance moves for the next tour to distract your fans? And I think probably straight female fans, maybe, from the lack of kissing and crotch grabbing.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a little bit. It'll be funky.
Because I think the gay guys want to see that when you're up on the stage crotch grabbing.
Do they? I don't know if they do.
No? Depends what you're wearing, I suppose.
I suppose, yeah.
One from, I think this is a fan club of yours actually on Twitter, Adam Lambert UK. It must be your UK stash of fans, maybe.
Hell yeah.
Other than Bowie and Queen, what UK-based singers and songwriters would you like to work with next? Because this is probably an ambition of yours, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, which songwriter? I love Jessie J. I'm a big Jessie J fan.
Yeah, she's huge here.
She's a great singer.
Is she getting big in the States now? I think.
I think she's got that song Domino's doing really well on the charts, and she's got a lot of talent and a lot of charisma, and her songs are they have a lot of integrity vocally. Like, she comes out and she's singing. I've been very impressed with her performances, and I would love to work with her in the future.
She's quite gutsy as well.
Say who? She's what?
She's gutsy. She's
gutsy.
quite
Yeah.
Pushing the buttons.
I like it. She's strong, and she's very charismatic, and she's kind of her own thing. It's cool.
Kind of in the same way as Madonna. Of course, everybody's talking about at the moment. Well, when do people not talk about Madonna?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Are you excited about her new album?
I'm very excited. I can't wait to hear what she does. I always am ready for Madonna to throw it down. She's the queen.
Are you a fan of hers? Have you always been a fan of hers?
Always been a fan.
Because I don't know about you, Adam, but I think, especially with gay guys, I think they kind of build her up. They love her, and then all of a sudden they start being really cynical and very kind of bitchy about her.
Well, that's the gay community sometimes.
Do you think?
Yeah.
we love to bitch.
We kind of love to tear down and build up, and I think it's great that we champion people that need championing, if that's a word.
Yeah.
But it can get a little catty sometimes, boys.
Yeah, and I think there's an ageist thing there as well, because obviously she's in her 50s. A lot of people think she shouldn't be doing it anymore. It's like, for God's sake, it's an industry. It's entertainment.
Well, yeah, and
you don't have to be young.
It's not that deep. I mean, if she wants to make a dance pop song and it's good, then it's a good song. Like, who cares how old she is?
Exactly.
I don't understand why people get so hung up about stuff like that.
Oh, I see what you did there. Time
30,
goes by
I just
so
turned
slowly.
30.
I got a message here from Sharon as well. How do you think your life would be different, or do you think your life would be different if you hadn't dyed your hair black and you were still a blonde? These questions are kind of surreal.
Very interesting. Yeah, I don't really know. I've never really thought about that, actually.
Because of course you got the black fingernails, which is great. It's a really kind of powerful look, isn't it?
I guess I've just been drawn to it from a fashion point of view. I mean, I don't know. I actually think calling it and no offense, think calling it goth is kind of passé.
Yeah.
No offense, but I think it's more of just a fashion kind of choice.
It's the dark side again.
Yeah, I mean, I've always just been drawn to darker aesthetic. I'm kind of over it now with all the recent fad, but I think the vampire thing has always been fascinating to me, and I've always liked fashion that's been kind of dark and cloak-like, and capes and coats and shoulders and mystery. I like that.
Sure.
I find it sexy.
I totally get that as well, because I've always been a massive fan of Susie Sue and Robert Smith from The Cure and those.
Yeah.
Kind of like it's quite dramatic, but not overly so.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's hilarious to me is when I got asked a question the other day, and they were like, "Well, why do you do it?" I'm like, "Well, because I want to."
Why not? Yeah, because you want to do it.
Why do you wear that? And I said, "Well, why do you wear what you're wearing?" It's just my way of expressing myself. And
I think it's a choice, isn't it?
I think so many people, look for so much meaning in why you're wearing that, or what does that mean about who you are, or what the type of person you are, or who you like to hang out with, or what music you listen to, and it's not that specific. Sometimes you just like something because you like it.
Passionate about music.